Okay, let's talk about your tax dollars being paid to a very, very wealthy individual. I don't think a lot of people have a problem with paying Pitbull to promote Florida. Problem is, we don't know how much, right?
Yeah, that's right. So global rap star Pitbull, he's a celebrity ambassador for the state of Florida, and this is through the Visit Florida, which is the marketing arm of the state. And so he signed a contract to be the celebrity ambassador to sort of promote the state of Florida. And right now you're looking at the contract, and as you can see,
oh my gosh,
most of it's blacked out. Yeah, and so one of the key issues is how much is he getting paid to stay home to Florida?
There's nothing on this.
Well, there's a few things on. There's some gaps right there.
Oh, and the signature.
There's a signature.
Great. Well, we did it. And actually agreed to whatever's on that. We don't know what it is.
That's not even his signature. That's the signature of the person in charge of Visit Florida. And so I'm here with Beth Kassab, who's writing about this on OrlandoSentinel.com. What's going on here? How come we can't see this contract as citizens of Florida?
Well, yeah, I mean, as everybody just saw, the redaction on that contract is just comical.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it would be funny if it wasn't my money and your money that was being spent here without our ability to see what exactly it was.
And what's the reasoning? Why are they saying that we can't see this contract?
So typically, Florida has a really broad public records exemption. Or excuse me, public records law. But now it is turning into a very broad public records exemption. The exemptions are stacking up. There's more of them than ever. This one is designed to protect certain business transactions. And I think we can all agree that companies won't want to do business with the state of Florida if their trade secrets are made public. I totally get that. At the same time, there is no reason why the amount of the contract is not made public. Taxpayers ought to know how much of their money is going to Pitbull and what exactly he's doing in order to earn that money. Yeah,
and that's sort of the issue, John. I mean, how much do you think Pitbull's worth to say, come on to Florida? Is it $1 million? Is it $10 million? Is it $25? I mean, we have no idea.
I have no idea. I would say it'd have to be. What, Beth, I think I read in your column, it's a $75 million entity, right? Visit Florida.
That's right.
Receives $75 million in taxpayer funds. I don't know, does he get a tenth of that? I mean, if he gets a tenth of it, that's a significant chunk of their budget. Now, do they go back to the state later and say, we don't have enough money? Well, how much did you pay Pitbull in that case?
You know, John, and that's the deal, right, because of the way this thing is structured and the way it's redacted so heavily, we don't know. There's no scrutiny. There's no ability for anybody to judge whether or not it was a good decision. Is Florida getting their money's worth? And it's not just Pitbull. This happens all over the state of Florida. You know, the last time the legislature did anything to really improve the public's access to information in this state was 1995, 20 years ago. And since then, we've had nothing but constant exemptions.
So why do they do that? Why does the government do this then? Why does the state of Florida do this?
Well, you know, look, they're lobbied by all kinds of people with special interests, people who don't want their information public. And as a result, you know, the exemptions are passed by the legislature, the governor signs them, they're put into law, and suddenly me and you and anybody else, because the public records law is not for just reporters. It's for everybody in the state of Florida. And people use it all the time, other than the media.
Yeah, and this was an issue that you wrote about with the coaches' contracts as well.
So, right. So the University of Central Florida, only public university in the state that does not release their coaches' contracts. It's unbelievable. These are records that are absolutely must be released under law at the other universities. At the University of Central Florida, because of the way they're structured through one of these exemptions, they say they'd be breaking the law to release the records. That's outrageous.
Yeah, and so I mean, we're going to keep up on this. We're writing stories about this. Beth is writing a column on this. But, you know, the main takeaway is, especially with this Pitbull contract, we just don't know. I mean, we don't even know the terms of the contract.
Yeah,
and so,
Beth,
you know, let's say he is paid $1 million. Right. What does he have to do for $1 million?
Yeah, Beth, could a judge eventually come in and say, I'm sorry, this is not covered by your exemptions here? So a judge is the only one who could come in and say, no, you do need to release that. That is in the public good?
Yeah, John, you've hit on a really important problem here in Florida, and that's that there is no enforcement mechanism for public records outside of the court system. So it would take somebody suing the state in order to get that contract released, unless the state changes their mind and simply decides to release it. Or Pitbull decides to release it.
Although he might be breaking the law.
Maybe I'll start that hashtag, Pitbull, release your contract.
Yeah, I guess he could be breaking the law then too, because then he would be violating the terms of the agreement if it says you can't talk about it. So it would take a judge.
But that's an interesting thing. I don't know that the terms of the agreement say that it's confidential. It's just that who's ever in charge at that state agency decided that the record is confidential and went ahead and redacted it.
I'll be honest,
and
guys.
Like you mentioned, you got to sue and get that overturned in court in order to make a change.
I'm just jealous, quite frankly, that I have never been compensated $700,000 for not getting a job. So yes, I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'm upset that no one has ever offered to pay me high six figures to not get a job, and that's what the quarterback
to walk away.
Right.
Six figures? I'd take 4 figures.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd take a cup of coffee. John, go ahead and
John's referring to UCF.
Yeah,
that's it. That was a very interesting situation.
So we'll see how this plays out. We have no idea. He might release his contract. We might get access to it. So, stay tuned to OrlandoSentinel.com and look for Beth Kassab tomorrow in the paper, and should be online today.
Good stuff,
Beth.
Beth.
Later today, yes.
Mr. Worldwide, thanks guys.